Man, are them things bright. Don't even need the cab lights up top. Man, whoever came up with the LED light needs a $100,000 pay raise. Man, just nothing better than being able to actually see what in the world you're doing, rather than them little doinky candle lights that we've been farting around with for years and years. Almost had an accident. Just got done letting the cows out, and I forgot to slide door shut. Oops. That was pretty fast thinking on my part. You guys stay put. Don't try nothing funny, okay? So I'm sitting here shining the lights in front of the grain bin, and the ones up top don't even do justice. I mean, the ones on the sides there, they are so much brighter than the ones on the top, that they shine up the bin a whole lot farther just being on the sides. Oh my goodness. Oh, but a lot of people are, I know, are gonna say, oh, don't mix your lights. Well, we don't have $12,000 to spend on lights. We buy lights as we need them. That's how it goes. When a light burns out, then we put LEDs in. So I figured I might as well do a video on how manure spreader works, just for those of you who have never seen a manure spreader work before, or that I've never explained on this channel how manure spreader works until just now. So you got your big long shaft here, that's called your PTO shaft, that runs off of this power plant here. This is a John Deere 7200, which is the power plant of choice for the manure spreader, or it could be the 4020, either or. We need the four-wheel drive, so 7200 is a good power plant option. So this long shaft runs through the manure spreader. I believe it's this side, the spreader, that the shaft runs back to the beater. There's a gearbox back there. There's a clutch that when you pull this rope, actually I'm getting ready to do it right now. There's a clutch that runs this rope, or the rope runs the clutch. You're supposed to technically, I believe, start in neutral, get everything running, and then you pull that into slow speed right there, just like that, when you start out. And then when your load gets about, past the front axle, in between the front and the rear axle, then you take that and you put this in high range like that, so you can maintain your ground speed without having to slow down if you run out of room in the field, or it just helps push the manure out. It's what that apron does in the bottom there that has the slats in it. And then you take and you run that thing into clean out just like that. It shuts the beaters off, lets the web push the manure out, and just like that we are set for another load. There is a gearbox, like I said, back here, that yeah, there's a gearbox back here. Why this is broken, I don't know, but I can show you right quick. Ooh. There's a gearbox back in here, right there, and there's a clutch right there, and a chain that runs this web. There's a couple of grease fittings on it that get greased periodically. These clips, or these things here, they get wore out after time, and they just they break. So that is why we use the tarp strap. And for the life of me, I almost got it. There. Tarp straps are your friend in farming. In a very, very wide range of keeping objects tied up, like hydraulic hoses, and keeping things closed, like that cover. That little rubber thing is broke. This piece here is still good. It's just this here is broke. So I don't even know how much New Holland wants for this. They probably want an insane amount of stupid money for just a rubber piece that a tarp strap can't fix. So that is that. So yeah, this spreader has been a really good spreader. We used to have one, I believe it was, oh, somebody correct me, either the 165 or the 155, a single axle version of this. Same exact spreader, just in a single axle version. It was a good spreader, but the downfall of that spreader was it did not have the balloon tires on it to help keep the thing up from sinking into the ground and making ruts. And we spent a lot more time hauling manure with that little toy than we did with this thing. It would be nice if this thing had sides on it that were just a little bit taller, about maybe like that high or so, just to help so you can get some production out of the thing, but so that slop just don't go all sloshing all over the place and all over the driveway and everything where you don't want it to go. But it served our purpose for what, 15 plus years. I can't say anything bad about the spreader. It does a good job. You just got to remember to clean your beaters off every once in a while, and yeah, it's a good spreader. Take a scraper and scrape them axles off every so often, because if you don't, those will be the first things to go on a manure spreader, because the manure just lays on them and everything. And it don't hurt to take a pressure washer to the thing every so often and just clean it up. There's a couple of channels that I watch that well, to each their own. If they wanted to have their manure spreader look like crap and rot out and say, oh, this thing, you know, it's a piece of junk, the sides just starting to flake and everything, and well, then you know what, you obviously don't know what soap and water is to keep your equipment clean. I believe this thing, all honesty, will probably last another 15 years or 20 years. Maybe it was 20 years we bought the thing. I can't remember, but I know it was a long time ago. So let me get this thing loaded up and we will take out the field, and I will demonstrate what I was talking about with the rope up front there and how that works. So just now arriving to the field, we want to pick a suitable gear ratio for the job at hand. So what you want to do then is you want to run that left front tire or right front, depending on which way you're spreading your manure. With this being a rear load or a rear spreader, you want to run the front tire, well, it don't matter, side slinger, rear spreader, it don't matter. You still want to run either the left tire or the right tire right up against what you've spread previously. So you want to open your slop gate, you want to turn your spreader on, run her up to PTO speed, which is 2100 or so. Call it good enough. What I like to do is I like to just wait until I see the manure start to fling off the back, just like right now. Then you want to let the clutch out. Take her on up to C2, which is a suitable or a comfortable range, which is right around the 6 mile an hour range. What you don't want to do, because we do light tillage, we don't chisel plow or anything, and that way you don't have to spend so much time screwing around with the sulfur, running over your manure and all that, trying to get it worked in. So when you get your manure offloaded, like I was talking about earlier, somewhere's between the axles, then you can go ahead and flip it to high speed. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that or not, but I just downshifted so that way I can pull my rope. Sped that up a little bit faster to the next gear, and we'll just keep on spreading. Once I start to see daylight in between the bottom beater and the bed floor, I will shut the beaters off, let the web run, so that way it can wipe the floor out. A lot of times too, what I'll do is I'll grab some lower gears, just so that way my ground speed matches how much manure is coming out. Just like right now, I'm starting to see daylight come through. So what I'll do then is I'll pull that one more time, letting that web clean out. I'll even downshift into A range, and I'll just downshift more yet. So that way, like I said, my ground speed matches the conditions of what I'm doing. Just want to shake that door, make sure there's no crumbs or nothing that stick to it. The reason why you're seeing there's daylight coming through the bed floor and the slats is because last spring or summer, it got really hot out and humid, and that heat just did weird things to that floor. Just like right now, it's not letting it shut. So you kind of got to find its happy spot where to get it to shut. But we're making, at the end of the day, you're basically doing the same thing, whether it be a rear loader or rear spreader versus a side slinger. You're getting manure on the field, basically. Starting to just get myself in the habit too of just parking stuff out of the way, not plugging the driveway up, nothing like that. So this, like I said, has been a really good spreader. Guys have said in the past that, you know, they didn't want to buy the oh yeah, I guess it would technically is a wiper, because if you think about it, it wipes all the slats off here. I don't know if that's the correct term or not. It's how I interpret it. Or it's a scraper, more or less. But I've heard guys say that, you know, New Holland, that theirs has rotted out. Well, this one is still, if I can reach a darn thing, in good working order. Let me get myself up into bed here and I'll show you what I mean. And what I mean by it's still in good shape is you can take and lift it up just like that, and everything is still all nice and intact. Nothing's rotted, nothing's broken. It is just how it's supposed to be. It, like I said, where did that come from with the paint on it? I don't know. That's just old manure anyhow. And there's really no sense in oiling this because it's just going to get all impacted with manure and everything. And yes, like this here, it's going to get hit with the loader. It's not caved in, it's not ripped, it's not tore, it's fine. It's just how it is. It's how we run our equipment. When I'm done with this spreader, getting that pile out, I will take the scraper, which we have right there, okay? And I will scrape them sides in, run along and scrape all, like I said, all the manure off the axles and inside here just on this rail to keep the thing nice and clean and from rotting out. Well, that was not supposed to happen. I carried it just from there and I was going back over. No, not what I wanted to happen. No, I can't even make it in the door with that. we're all done. The reason for going so fast, like I said, is because we don't need to be really dumping the manure to the field. We need to be lightly applying it, so that way, like I said, we don't have to waste so much time trying to work it in with the Salford. The disc, it would break it up, but you would have big clobs of dirt that you would bring up. We don't really want to do that. We want to kind of just work it minimal, about, I'm gonna say about that deep or so. A couple inches is all that you want to do, just to stir the soybean residue up. That is what we have planted here in the past, was soybeans. Just basically want to get this trash worked in, and the Salford will do a really good job of working the trash up, as I will do in another video. But this is the video at hand that we're doing, is on the manure spreader, and it has done a really bang up good job. New Holland makes a really good spreader, and hay equipment as well. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I've said in the beginning of this video, I don't know if you've made it to the end or not, but again, thank you for stopping by.